there was a leaked audio that came out, I guess it was about a week or so ago, from a conversation that Joe Biden was having with some civil rights leaders. And he said in this conversation, paraphrasing, some of my progressive friends want me to take all sorts of executive actions. That's not constitutional, and I'm not going to do it. And then we saw subsequent reporting where he said, believe me, in 6 to 8 months, I may eat my words, but the Republicans are gonna work with me. And this is another, the fever will break. We heard that literally 4 times, I think, over the course of the Obama administration. Every time there was an election, the fever was going to break. The fever was going to break if the Republicans got power, or the fever was going to break if they lost power. Both those things happened. The fever actually became worse. And so much so that there was foam coming out of their mouths. What's your reaction to this? Because in many respects, I think he was talking about, frankly, the day, literally what you guys put together at the Prospect, because that has become different politicians have picked up on this. Schumer and Warren talking about how on day one, Biden can get rid of $50,000 worth of student loan debt for everyone who has it in the country. What's your reaction and what's your sense of this?
Well, I mean, I think the lead characters of Waiting for Godot have less patience than Joe Biden when it comes to the Republican Party. And I don't know how many times reality needs to intervene with him before he understands that. As far as the day one agenda is concerned, I mean, the way I look at it is if someone knew everything I could do in my job and wrote it out over the course of several months and said they were going to hold me accountable for doing it, I probably wouldn't be happy either. I mean, it's unfair to hold me to such a high standard, but I'm not the president, or I'm not going to be the president of the United States, and that comes with the territory. You might not like that people are pushing you to use the clear authority that you have, but those are the breaks. You're the most powerful man in the free world, and so suck it up, and we're not going to stop asking. The truth is, or to use Biden's phrase, the fact of the matter is
right
that everything in the day one agenda is 100% constitutional. It's all based on existing authorities that have been given to the president. Literally, the job description in Article 2 of the Constitution is that the president takes care that the laws are faithfully executed. Everything in the day one agenda is based on a law and the ability for the president to faithfully execute it. Everything from student debt, which comes out of the Higher Education Act of 1963, to lowering prescription drug prices, which comes out of the Bayh-Dole Act of 1980, to using federal procurement power to give every federal contractor a $15 an hour minimum wage. That comes out of the Office of Federal Procurement from 1974. I could go on, but it's not tyrannical. I mean, it's literally the job description of a president to execute and implement the laws. I don't have a lot of sympathy for Joe Biden in this moment for being miffed that people want him to implement the laws.
Do you think he believes it's unconstitutional, or do you think that is, and the way that this was phrased in this, we should say, in this leaked audio, it's one of those things that either it was really weighing on his mind, but it was something that he wanted to get out there to these folks, right? I mean,
yeah. I don't think it was. I don't think he thinks it's unconstitutional, and here's the reason I know that. The only example he gave in that leaked audio was saying, I can't ban assault weapons by executive order, which is like a straw man because no one's asked him to ban all assault weapons by executive order. However, what he can do under the Gun Control Act of 1968 is ban the importation of certain assault weapons that are not used for sport. And Joe Biden, in his gun control plan, said he would do that. So he clearly knows this is not unconstitutional. His advisors know it's not unconstitutional. He promised to do the thing that he said was unconstitutional. And the entire argument is an excuse for him not to do things that either he doesn't want to push the envelope, show that he's mean to Republicans, get something done. I mean, I don't know why he's necessarily exactly resistant to this. There are a whole lot of theories that you can conjure up, but it's an excuse.
Right. And so if he does wait those 6 or 7 months, I guess, to see, to eat his words about the Republicans getting along with him, I guess it becomes then the day, 195 agenda or something like that. That's the new day one. I mean, on one hand, I'm a little bit alarmed that he's saying that it's unconstitutional because it feels like he's painting himself in a corner. On the other hand, I remember when Nancy Pelosi went on to, I can't remember what late night talk show it was, and said, oh, we can't impeach the president because if we do, he won't be subject to criminal charges afterwards. That was also something that was fantastical and, fortunately sort of went off into the ether. I imagine, though, that Mitch McConnell, if they wanted to talk about what, or Sean Hannity, if they want to talk about what Joe Biden is doing 195 days from taking office, and he starts working on that day one agenda, because it's quite clear the Republicans are not helping with him, working with him, Sean Hannity is going to start playing that audio tape, I guess. And I don't know how much salience that'll have, but it'll have some. They'll have something to talk about.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, the day one agenda is also leverage, right? It's like, I know, Mitch McConnell, that I can do this, and so you better come up with a policy that makes it irrelevant or obsolete for me to do this. And a president willing and interested in getting something done, that's how they would pursue it. If Joe Biden wants to be a successful president, and if he wants the Democrats to be seen as a party that looks to make tangible progress, he would use every opportunity at his legal disposal to get that done. And I'll preview something here that we're going to be doing. We're going to do a tracker of the day one agenda. We are going to list everything in the day one agenda that we know is available to a president, and we're going to chart whether or not it gets done. And we're going to periodically update that. And so we're watching. The whole point of the day one agenda was kind of to say, we're watching. We know what you can do. You cannot hide behind Mitch McConnell is mean and is making me not do anything. Here's what you can do, and we're going to score it, and we're going to hold you accountable on whether or not you did it.
Well, that is mean of you to do, David. All right.
I know. And on Chinooka of all times, for me to do that.
The Hanukkah spirit. I mean, actually, in some ways, it really is. But David Dayen, we will put a link to that day one agenda at majority.fm. Folks, you should go and check it out. It is very important for you to know what your politicians can do in service of you and your country, despite the fact that they may not want to do that at times. David Dayen, thanks so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
All right, Sam, thanks. Thanks, guys.
We'll take a quick break. Be right back.